this is probably not the video that you think it is. Although I did spend about 15 minutes writing a song of sorts with guitarist SARAH Longfield when we were both in Germany about a month ago at Thomann's Gearhead University. They flew us here to Germany at great expense, and we're very not prepared for this. So here we go. I wanted to make a video about why this sort of video, write a song in a certain amount of time, has become so popular on YouTube over the past couple of months. Really, if you're a music YouTuber, you tried this challenge at one point. I think the allure of this video is twofold. One, the compositional process, that which occurs behind the scenes for every style of music, has a degree of mystery to it, to the layman, the person who has not gone through it. It's easy to get drawn into a depiction of the process, warts and all, especially when it's connected to a personality that an audience has a connection to because of the YouTube platform. To demystify is to enlighten and enrich, and even though these videos aren't framed as such, I think they're really, really good educational tools. So yeah, you were playing that like ambient dark thing. The second thing, of course, is the time limit. It's a pretty extreme mitigating factor. It removes all pretense of divine inspiration, providence, or the ineffability of creative spark. Everybody, audience and musician, is forced to see what the compositional process really is. Homework. Fun homework, but the YouTube equivalent of an essay that's due in an hour. So I'm gonna just
move on to something after that?
Yeah, why don't we... Now, whether or not an hour is enough to get an A on an essay, in other words, make meaningful, worthwhile music, that might be open for debate. But the value in these videos seems to be documentary, an insight into how people think when they're confronted with a completely unrealistic time limit. Or is it completely unrealistic? Because technology and the internet have made super fast turnaround times on projects technically possible. Now in some industries, it's almost expected. I talked with my friend Mickey Blue, who does top lining and commercial songwriting, about some of the projects that she's worked on.
And I woke up to this message and he was like, hey, I know you're in London, we're on like an 8-hour time difference right now, but if you wake up early enough to this message, I have an opportunity to write a song for Mattel, for Barbie. I need it handed in by like this time, your time, so that way I have like a few hours to do vocal production and whatever. And so, yeah, I just kind of...
Cool.
No.
Cool. We're both like, this is working.
Cool.
Cool. Cool. That's cool.
Cool. The great jazz pianist Carla Bley wrote,
"When I first started writing, I was married to Paul Bley. He said, I have a record date tomorrow. Write 6 tunes. That night, I wrote 6 tunes. There were ways of getting that much music out of me in one night, but that hasn't worked again. Nothing ever works twice."
So you're doing that dub.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, that's...
I know, it's crazy.
How do you come up with these, like, patterns? 1, 2, ready, and... A month ago, I tried my version of making a song in 1 hour. I live streamed the whole thing, and I took suggestions from the chat. This, of course, was a terrible idea. The chat was filled with people screaming for me to tune to 432 hertz or play the lick, as well as everybody, of course, telling me how much I sucked in the moment.
This is the most horrible song I've ever heard. Too much snare. Sounds like a 4-year-old mashing keys. How to suck at music, part 1. Your music gay.
Okay, drums are too loud. Well, shut up.
Yeah, we could repeat it. Do you want to try that whole thing again, though, so that I don't forget it? Because that's what I'll do. Oh, what did I do?
I can teach it to you because you taught it to me.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I won't do the tapping thing, but I'll just grab that
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
at the top.
Just so that it, like, lines up.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Cool. All right. Then maybe... The big challenge here is that writing a piece of music in a certain amount of time requires a degree of stream of conscious wild abandon, but it also requires a degree of self-editing. The two can't exist at the same time. First you have to create something, and then you have to decide whether or not it was worthwhile. This is why Picasso would say in a discussion with Matisse, but for me, art is a sum of destructions.
You want to go back into that? Yep.
Let's turn on a metronome and then.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you like?
What do I like? I don't know what I like. It changes literally all the time. So pick something.
Yeah. Let's do a 140.
Oh, nice.
dubstep.
There are a number of other timed music composition challenges out there. One of them is February Album Writing Month, which challenges participants to write a full album of music within the month of February. Back in 2011, I endeavored to upload a new piece of music to YouTube every day for a month. I only got about 2 weeks into it, though, before I abandoned the project. I really wish I hadn't. The reason why I stopped uploading was because at the time I thought none of the stuff that I was writing was any good, but looking back at it, I think some of it's pretty cool.
You know, you just have to write 100 songs, and like most of them are going to be garbage, and just don't care if it's garbage, because there will be amazing things that come out of it.
Yeah.
So.
In his book Free Play, Improvisation in Life and Art, Stephen Nachmanovich writes,
The easiest way to do art is to dispense with success and failure altogether and just get on with it.
That's probably okay. I mean, unless you want to play it faster. We can. I mean, we can make it as fast as you want. Like, my brain is like...
Serious.
Don't get me all excited with that. Like...
Serious music time. Okay. 1, 2. Oh, you know what to do. Huh.
So how did this Sarah framing device thing for this video actually turn out? Well, it turned out all right, I guess, but we didn't go into that studio at Thomann with the express purpose of creating a full song in 15 minutes. We just kind of wrote something.
All right. Hey everybody, my name is Adam Neely. I'm here with my friend SARAH Longfield. We met at OEArt up in Canada, the Great White North. We're going to jam for a little bit, and then, you know, we'll see what happens.
In the spirit of trying to capture the raw energy of trying to actually do one of these challenges, I spent the past couple of days overdubbing some of my musician friends in increasingly ridiculous situations where we would have very little time to record or edit or do anything.
I recorded Luke before we played a wedding in Brooklyn. I recorded Zac in Times Square. We're about to play at Shrine in Harlem. We're also going to try and record some slide guitar. I recorded Chien immediately after she just played at Rockwood. I recorded Seabass here, also backstage at Rockwood.
Flute, flute, flute. I hope you enjoy what we came up with.
Yeah. So the shakuhachi, everyone is handmade. So you got a maker's mark right here on every single one that tells you everyone is unique. It tells you what maker it is, and then down here you're gonna see. So it's like super traditional. It's out of the Kinko-ryu tradition. This is an ancient dojo leader, Shakuhachi dojo leader of his own school. He called it Adam Neely's Jazz School, and it was around during the Edo period.